Imagine waking up on what feels like a perfectly ordinary morning. The air is warm, filled with the scent of baking bread and the familiar sounds of a city coming to life. You greet your neighbors, you haggle for fruit in a bustling market, you watch children playing in sun-drenched streets. Life is vibrant, predictable, safe. But then, a tremor. A strange, dark cloud begins to blot out the sun. By the time night falls, your entire world, your home, your city, and everyone you have ever known and loved has vanished from the face of the earth, buried under a blanket of ash and stone. This isn't a movie script. This is the true story of Pompeii. Welcome back to Maysam Trip. Today, we're not just visiting a tourist attraction. We're stepping into a time machine. We're journeying to Italy to uncover the secrets of a city that was frozen in time, buried alive for over 1,500 years. How could a thriving metropolis disappear in a single day? What was life truly like in the moments before the disaster? And the most chilling question of all, what did archaeologists find preserved in the ash that would change our understanding of history forever? Let's find out. To truly grasp the scale of the tragedy that befell Pompeii, we first have to understand what was lost. In the year 79 AD, this wasn't a city of ruins, it was a jewel of the Roman Empire. Nestled on the sun-drenched Bay of Naples, Pompeii was a bustling commercial hub, and a luxurious resort town, a playground for Rome's wealthiest citizens. Its fertile volcanic soil produced wine and olive oil that were famous across the Mediterranean, fueling a thriving economy. And when you look closely, the people who lived here were surprisingly a lot like us. Take their food culture, for instance. Did you know that Pompeii essentially had fast food restaurants? Archaeologists have unearthed over 80 thermopolia. These were bustling snack bars, where busy merchants and workers could grab hot, ready-to-eat meals on the go. But the city's amenities went far beyond convenience. Pompeii boasted grand public baths that were centers for socializing and business. 2 massive theaters for plays and concerts, and a complex aqueduct system that supplied running water to public fountains and the homes of the rich. They even left their mark with graffiti, just as we do. Scrawled on the ancient walls, we found everything from simple declarations like, "I made bread here," to lovers' quarrels, and even complaints about bad service at an inn. These messages give us a raw, unfiltered glimpse into their daily lives. It was a city brimming with art, commerce, and life, completely unaware that the picturesque mountain that formed its backdrop, the very source of its fertile land, was a ticking time bomb. Mount Vesuvius was sleeping, but not for much longer. On that fateful day in August or possibly October, the mountain exploded with the thermal energy of 100,000 atomic bombs. But here is the misconception. It wasn't the lava that killed them, it was the ash and the heat. For hours, pumice stones rained down like bullets. Many people fled. But those who stayed behind, hoping the storm would pass, were doomed. A pyroclastic surge, a superheated cloud of gas moving at 700 kilometers per hour, rushed down the mountain. It reached temperatures of 300 degrees Celsius. It happened so fast that people didn't even have time to suffocate. They were instantly thermal shocked. The city was buried under 6 meters of ash, freezing it in time forever. For an astonishing 1,500 years, Pompeii was not just abandoned, it was erased from memory. The once thriving city became a legend, its name lost to time. Generations of farmers lived and worked on the fertile slopes of Vesuvius, their plows occasionally striking ancient marble, dismissing it as a relic from some unknown past. They walked on the grass above, completely unaware that an entire perfectly preserved Roman city lay just a few meters beneath their feet. When excavations began in the 1700s, they were more like treasure hunts than scientific explorations. But as diggers cleared away tons of ash, they found something haunting. They found hollow spaces, strange cavities that seemed to have an organic shape. It took time to understand, but they were looking at the ghostly imprints of the city's inhabitants. These were the voids left behind where human bodies had decomposed, leaving a perfect mold of their final moments. In 1863, the site's director, Giuseppe Fiorelli, had a revolutionary idea. Instead of digging through these voids, he treated them as molds. His team would carefully pour liquid plaster into the holes. When the plaster hardened, they would meticulously chip away the surrounding ash. In doing so, the victims of Vesuvius, captured in their last breath, reappeared. This is the most emotional part of visiting Pompeii today. These are not statues, they are direct echoes of human tragedy. You can see the terror etched on their faces. You see lovers locked in a final embrace. You see a mother desperately trying to protect her child from the inevitable. You even see a guard dog, still chained to its post, twisting in its final agony. It's a powerful, gut-wrenching reminder that these weren't just abstract figures, they were real people, real lives, cut short in an instant. Today, modern science like CT scans allows us to see inside the casts, revealing skeletons, clothing, and even the health of these ancient Romans, adding another layer of humanity to their silent stories. If you want to witness this emotional sight yourself, here are my top tips for 2025. First, it is huge. You cannot see it all in one day. Focus on the Forum, the amphitheater, and the Villa of the Mysteries. Second, bring water. There is very little shade, and in the summer, it gets incredibly hot. Ironic, I know. And third, take the train from Naples or Sorrento. It stops right at the entrance. Pompeii is beautiful, but it is also a graveyard. It's a reminder of how powerful nature is, and how fragile our lives are. If you could travel back in time to Pompeii for 1 hour before the eruption, what would you do? Let me know in the comments. If you enjoyed this deep dive into history, please hit that like button. It really helps the channel, and subscribe to Maysam Trip for more adventures. Thanks for watching, and stay curious.